But it's just the energy, man. Like, you don't know who you'll run into out here recording this shit.
Did you ever bump into any of the Death Row artists? 93, 94, 95, 96, around that time?
Yeah. Matter of fact, on my first album at the Sherm Stick, when we was doing the Sherm Stick video, Jam Master Jay was out here from New York, and he had Snoop Dogg come through, and that's where I actually met Snoop at, was the Sherm Stick video. And then we went to a Death Row party that night where Snoop was with, it was Left Eye and Corrupt and everybody there, you know what I'm saying? I remember me and Jam Master Jay rolling with Corrupt, and Corrupt had his white pit bull, and he was riding around and had his, you know what I'm saying? Shit was crazy, man. And Death Row was doing their shit at the time, but it was crazy for me to just coming in the game, and from being around Jam Master Jay, he connected me immediately with Corrupt and Snoop Dogg and guys like that. You know, he even after I was gone from Jam Master Jay's label, we still had a cool relationship. You know what I'm saying? So he the one got me on Scarface album as well. With me, Daz, and Corrupt was on there, on The Last of a Dying Breed. That was Jam Master Jay hooked that shit up. You know what I mean? I remember going to a party with him at the House of Blues and seeing Wesley Snipes and all these fucking actresses and shit coming out to see Run DMC. You know what I mean? That shit was crazy, man.
Man, I could talk about all your history, but let's get to the current stuff, man. Was that movie a true story?
Most of it, like, it was mixed with just a little drama and shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a docu-musical, like, mixed with real life shit. A lot of the action was just, us, trying to be creative and think of something that was gonna be interesting to see. And it's called Broken Ground, and the actual album is called James Savage. You guys can check it out if you haven't seen it. It's on YouTube, and it's just like me rapping all the way through the film and through the action and shit like that. The crazy part is, after we finished filming, the day after we finished filming, I had to turn myself in the next morning to go to the penitentiary for a year. I had got caught with some pistols, and I had made a deal with the judge to where, and he let me finish my film. He was like, once you finish the movie, the next day you gotta come and do this fucking year. They gave me 2 years with half, so I had to do a whole year.
I sat down and watched the whole thing later, and it reminded me of a movie Sticky did once.
Yeah.
Did Sticky and you ever talk about that, or you guys?
I actually seen Sticky's movie before, and his shit was so dope. It was so creative because he had everybody in the motherfucker rapping, like a little kid to say a part, or one of these actors that you've been seeing in films, they'll say they rap part. So it was crazy that everybody participated in the rap part of making that film that wasn't even rappers. So that was the clever part of it. But when we were making the records, it was just, I just asked Xzibit to help me produce a record, you know what I'm saying? And I knew he had all these tracks, and he's real good friends with Dr. Dre, and he got Focus and them joints and all of the great producers that helped me make that project. I was excited about working with those guys and bringing something together like that was different. So, it was like a kid in the candy store with all those top-notch producers, you know what I mean? So it was dope. Shout out to Rick Rock, too, for producing on there on day one.
So did we have to wait to see this movie until you got home from prison? Is that?
Yeah, when I was released, X came, picked me up. We drove to the airport, flew back in the helicopter and shit, and I seen that movie in its entirety for the first time. And man, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this shit is gonna hit, you know what I'm saying?
Now, one of the themes in the movie was you were complaining about getting blackballed.
Yeah.
Is this something that really happened to you in the industry? And tell us the story behind that.
I mean, to an extent, but not really, you know what I'm saying? I never really was blackballed. I just basically left Def Jam. I never got dropped from the label or anything like that. I was probably the only West Coast artist that didn't get dropped from Def Jam. And once I left Def Jam, I went to a label called Treacherous Records, where it was an independent label, but they had distribution at the time with Universal. And at the time, they had me, Crooked Eye, Nocturnal, and Big Psych, rest in peace. we all was there, you know what I'm saying? They paid us top dollar, made an album, and we didn't have to pay to get the album done. They paid to get the album done and paid us separately, you know what I'm saying? So it was a cool situation, and I still have a cool relationship with those guys to this day.
Did you feel like maybe you weren't being blackballed, but do you feel like people were distancing themselves from you or something?
Not really, because when it comes to the skills, man, the skills gonna outweigh all the bullshit. I mean, shit, I'm no harder to work with anybody else, but people were probably trying to put that out there like I'm hard to work with or some shit. In all reality, I'm a little kid from San Diego, and I was blowing niggas out. I was fucking killing niggas on their own shit. At the end of the day, I know it's like playing basketball. I'm good at this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that outweighs a whole lot of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And even with the project that I did with Xzibit, I took his direction. You know what I'm saying? So how the fuck am I hard to work with when I'm sitting there listening to my fucking peer telling me what to do? You know what I'm saying? And I took his direction, and I never said, hey, nigga, cuz I'm Jayo Felony, nigga, what the fuck you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? It never was an issue like that. It was X, what does need to be done? Tell me what needs to be done, and I'm gonna follow your direction, because I'm not hard to work with, and I'm a team player at the end of the day. So, and I know you know this acting shit better than me, because I never really was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So in that film, I took his direction, and he wrote a lot of the dialogue on the spot, knowing that I had to turn myself in after we finished filming. So it was a lot of pressure from being right on the spot, but I knew once I was getting right what he was telling me to do, he'd get excited behind the camera. So I knew I was nailing it. So just from having that experience, I know in the future, if I'm dealing with a director or if I'm working with a director for a film or whatever, I know if they tell me to do something, I'm gonna nail whatever the fuck they telling me to do.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.